When the American Civil War began, neither President Lincoln nor most white politicians in the North could imagine allowing African Americans to fight with the U.S. Army. In Ohio, abolitionist lawyer John Mercer Langston approached Governor David Todd with the idea. Todd rebuffed him, saying, "Do you not know, Mr. Langston, that this is a white man's government, that white men are able to defend and protect it, and that to enlist a Negro soldier would be to drive every white man out of the service? When we want you colored men, we will notify you." But after 2 years of Union losses and with the Emancipation Proclamation, the enlistment of African Americans became a necessity. Frederick Douglass urged blacks to join the Army, saying, "Once let the black man get upon his person the brass letters U.S., let him get an eagle on his button, and a musket on his shoulder, and bullets in his pockets. There is no power on earth which can deny that he has earned the right of citizenship in the United States." In Ohio, Todd relented, and Langston began recruiting troops. But he found a young man from Texas named Milton Holland already had recruited his own company of free blacks in Athens, Ohio, to fight for the United States. A decade earlier, Holland's white father had brought him and 2 brothers north, freed them, and paid abolitionists to educate them. Milton Holland went to war, fighting for the freedom of the slaves of the South, including his mother, who still lived on a plantation outside of Carthage, Texas. The most famous of the U.S. colored troop charges was that of the 54th Massachusetts at Fort Wagner, South Carolina. But as brave as the men were, the attack was a failure. Detractors claimed the bravery of the unit reflected the fact that it was of hand-picked men. William H. Carney was the hero of the attack, planting the flag on the fort's parapet, but he would not be awarded the Medal of Honor until 37 years later. Milton Holland's first service in the war with the 5th U.S. Colored Troops of Ohio was in freeing slaves from plantations in North Carolina. But when federal forces attacked Petersburg, Virginia in 1864, Holland led the charge, swimming ashore at the head of black troops to capture the Confederate garrison at City Point. That summer, Holland's unit was supposed to spearhead an attack at the Battle of the Crater, but at the last minute, Union generals replaced the seasoned colored troops with fresh soldiers who had never fought a battle. The attack was a disaster for both white and black federal troops, but commanders looking for a scapegoat claimed the assault failed because the colored troops broke and ran. Major General Benjamin Butler had faith in the colored troops, though. He organized an assault that he hoped would open the door to the capture of Richmond and prove the value of colored soldiers. As part of the overall attack, units of the U.S. colored troops would assault a position known as New Market Heights, held by members of the Texas Brigade.
Fire! Come on, guys, come on! Come on, boys, get back here. Let's go. That was quick. Get your line of battle where you were. Come on, boys, find a place on the line. Find a place.
African American losses in the attack were tremendous, but they broke the line. What was especially notable was that Milton Holland and 3 other sergeants took command of their companies when their white officers fell killed or wounded. They proved that African Americans could not only fight bravely, they also could win battles without white leadership. The overall attack failed to take Richmond, but 14 out of 18 Medals of Honor awarded to African Americans in the Civil War were given to men who fought at New Market Heights. On April 6, 1865, 3 days before Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered, 12 of those men, including Milton Holland, became the first African American members of the U.S. Army to receive the Medal of Honor. 3 of the men, Milton Holland, Powhatan Beatty, and Christian Fleetwood, were all recommended for promotion to officer rank, but all were rejected by the War Department because African Americans could not be officers. Christian Fleetwood, who had been born free, wanted to continue his military career after the war, but he saw no point, either for himself or his race, if he could not be promoted to. For Christian Fleetwood and Milton Holland, the fight for equal rights would continue for the rest of their lives.